Up next, this is something I've been anticipating for a while. So let's get into it. We have
Oh boy.
the
Oh
AI
boy.
panel, first ever AI panel. This is exciting. So we've got an absolutely stacked lineup. We've got Jimmy Spears. Let's start it off here. So Jimmy, this guy's next level, a 13-year combat veteran. He was also known for leading USAA, the auto experience, and USA Global auto physical damage operations. I think they're like $7.8 billion or something. Like, he was leading that whole team. Pretty crazy. Anyway, today he's over at Tractable, a company that is growing exponentially. And they're now in 14 different countries using AI. Last year, I think it was last year or so, they processed about just over $2 billion in auto accidents. It's amazing. Also, now this guy, let's see, he's on the screen with us here. We got Bill. I call him Wild Bill because of all the things that he's done.
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill, yep. From spending 18 years at Nationwide to a tenure with Liberty Mutual, and the head of U.S. auto claims strategy for LexisNexis. Today, Bill is the VP of Industry Relations at Solera. I've had the pleasure of sitting on some AI panels with him, and he's truly a bright guy. So that's pretty awesome.
Bill.
Next, we have the infamous Raj, who, by the way, is over in India, and I think it's like 3 in the morning, right, Raj? Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Good.
3 in the morning. This man is, you want to talk about a positivity summit. Here's a guy that's positive. He's getting up at 3 in the morning to share some wisdom with us.
Raj,
thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, guys.
You're an energetic trailblazer, and we're honored to have you. Last but not least, I want to introduce you to a good friend of mine. This is Jonathan Biggs from UVI, truly a transformational AI that they've been working on. And
Wow.
I won't spoil it. I think Dave Black almost spoiled it for him. He went through all the exciting things that you're doing over there. But this is some unique artificial intelligence that is coming for our industry. Let's get into it, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here today. Truly great to have everybody with us.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to this panel all day.
All day. I've been waiting for this.
All day.
I'm all things AI. I get so excited. It's like the ultimate squirrel chase for Ryan. So I'm going to start the questions off. Maybe we'll do this with Jimmy. I'll start with you to start us out here, Jimmy. Tell us a little bit about the AI. What are some multiple use cases in deployment for AI across the ecosphere?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing artificial intelligence being used in salvage, being able to identify a vehicle that would be an optimal parts vehicle at the salvage auctions, like at IA or Copart, then being able to bring those parts into the ecosphere. You're seeing first notice of loss, being able to detect if a vehicle is repairable or not repairable. You're seeing it on the side to be able to monitor a claim, and the fact that before you submit it to the carrier or who you're going to submit it to next, they can do just an unbelievable audit. And what we're really excited about is the ability for shops to be able to integrate a digital experience with their customer, having it part of their initial website, part of a code that they can scan, and a link be sent to their phone. They're starting to get people involved with the collision shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by having the customer easily upload images, give an instant quote for what the damages are. And we're seeing AI really become an advocate. What we're seeing is that a lot of folks are not really being a customer advocate the way it used to be anymore. You'll call an insurance carrier and you don't get the answer you want. Sometimes you go to a shop and you're not getting your car looked at when you want to. With AI, you can really bridge that and provide a great experience.
That's crazy. So I want to get Bill's perspective on this. How is AI impacting the claims experience for the vehicle owner?
Yeah, Dave, thanks. And thanks for the opportunity to be on the show today. So this is excellent. So really, it's a game changer, right? Jimmy made the comment, in fact, my daughter had a claim, a car accident about a year ago. And I kid you not, the claims experience that I managed to claim for her was nothing different than it would have been in the 1990s if we had a claim back then, right? It was a phone call with the insurance company, some back and forth. It was a phone call with the shop. It was back and forth. It was taking the car over. It was waiting on an estimate. And again, no complaints. Everything turned out great. The shop did a great job. Insurance company did a great job, but it wasn't very customer friendly, especially for me, someone who's, man, my days are packed with, every half hour, like many of you, with things that are on my plate. So a faster claims process to be able to just, for me and my situation with my daughter, if I could have just taken pictures of the damages and pushed it over, had an AI estimate created, have somebody at the shop review it, make sure that everything's good. I may not even need to take the car in. They may be able to get the parts and I can go ahead and just schedule the repair. So that's definitely important. Jimmy mentioned total loss decisions. I spent most of my career with 2 major insurance companies, and I know the most customer unfriendly process is total loss today, because you think your car is going to be repaired. It sits in a shop because people are really busy and they're like, man, that car's hit hard. I'm going to wait a while on that one. And then 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, it's like, oh my goodness, it's totaled. So being able to use AI in seconds to tell if it's total loss is really big. And then the customer experience. It's just, for me as a consumer, anytime I can pick up my phone, click a couple of buttons and get service, and I don't have to call and wait on someone to answer the phone and maybe talk to 3 people, that's good. And so I think the ability to leverage AI to kind of anticipate what my questions are going to be able to provide that information, it's really huge. Text communications, maybe I report my claim by calling, but after that, I'd like to be able to know what's going on. I'd like to say, hey, Dave, I'm ready to put my car in the shop. Can I drop it on Tuesday? Do I need to get on the phone and wait for Dave to answer because he's busy and he has to call me back? Or could it be like a quick text where the artificial intelligence knows that I can put my car in on Tuesday, and they go ahead and respond, and Dave doesn't even have to look at it, right? That type of thing. And then and then of course the fraud piece. When you think about a claim, one of the things that insurance people are always worried about is fraud. And when you apply AI to be able to identify those claims that might need attention, then you're not troubling everyone with a lot of extra work. You're just simply picking those that might need additional attention. And if we have time later, I'll talk to you a little bit about where I think AI is going to have an impact in the future in the area of sustainability. But if time permits, maybe we can talk about that.
Yeah, so much to unpack here. Let's jump over to John from UVI for a second here. AI is now starting to play a major role in the service lanes at the dealerships. And I'm very excited about what you guys are working on. Can you give the audience kind of a 30,000 foot view of what UVI is, how it's playing in the dealerships, and some of the things that we're starting to see come out of this?
Yeah, so UVI, it's a full dealership tool. So we are in hundreds of dealerships across the country, work with Amazon, work with CarMax, all over the place. But when it comes to the dealership, let's focus on the service lane for a second, just to kind of get your mind around it. This system you see right back here is at the beginning of hundreds of service lanes today. And so what happens is, the story we always tell is, the vehicle pulls through UVI, you're going in for your normal oil change or whatever it may be. By the time the customer gets out of their vehicle and walks over to their service advisor, or they walk up to these 55-inch kiosks that we have popping up in service lanes all over, there's a full scan of the undercarriage of the car, the tires of the car, and the body. Okay, so in our collision world here today, we're looking at every dent, scratch, ding down to 0.5 millimeter. It's picking it up. We're doing this in 60 seconds or less. For the service center, on the undercarriage, we're picking up unknown substances. We've got a rust map, missing catalytic converters. We've found a pair of rusted out vice grips holding together a rusted out hand underneath the vehicle as a used car acquisition. True story.
Oh, I wondered where my vice grips went.
That's exactly it. Okay, and then on the tires, we're finding all sidewall damage, missing lug nuts, alignment issues. And then we read the DOT on the side of the tire. So I'm 43, I believe. I've never had anybody in a dealership talk to me about the age of my tire. So opening up a whole new set of conversations around safety, but also revenue. I could go on and on, but I'm sure we'll get to it.
That's really cool.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, no, that's really wild. So, let's go to Raj. My friend, we appreciate you and Jimmy co-chairing the SECA AI committee. That's very cool, right? Tell us about the future integration of AI into the collision ecosphere.
Absolutely. So first of all,
Ecosphere is
thank you
such
for
a fancy
giving,
word.
yeah. So, no, first of all, thank you for giving me an opportunity to address this forum. Uh, Let me give you a little bit of a perspective on the collision industry. I mean, as a matter of fact, I think Bill was mentioning about the delays in the estimate, and uh, I started Claim Genius with a personal experience when my wife got into the accident, and it took me a couple of weeks to get the estimate, right? And that's when 2019 Claim Genius, I started. Obviously, we are also looking into the similar kind of an ways that what Autotex does or Retractable does. By looking at the photos and the videos, we are also doing the real-time damage assessment. And our technology is basically expanding not only into the insurance claims industry, but actually it goes across the multiple verticals within the passenger vehicles, right? So, for example, John was just mentioning about the dealerships, because dealerships right now, if you really look at across the globe, the volume of the vehicles are increasing almost by 8% every year, 8 to 10% in some of the countries. The claims are increasing by almost like 5%. So you can imagine the volume that is going into the through this claim assessment or the damage assessment for that matter is huge. Humans are not going to be able to basically scale to that level. A. The second thing, also, the experience that is required and the expertise that is required is kind of an diminishing as we are getting more and more into, these new years. And that's when the AI is kind of an helping to do some of these jobs more first unbiasedly and more accurately than the humans. If you really look at a human in a first cut or a first set of initial estimate, if I may say, roughly about 70 to 73% accurate, because then we go into the supplements and all that. AI is doing over 85, 90%, so it's already beating us in that sense. How in the collision industry there are multiple use cases. Rental car, they want to do the damage assessment when the car goes in, come out. I think the rest of the other guys have already touched base on the other use case. So I will bring another use case, especially from the collision or the recycling industry, right? When these vehicles are total loss and the recyclers are looking to basically buy this vehicle through the auctions, they want to know what are the good parts, what are my grade A part versus my grade B part, so that I can value this car properly. And that's when so that is another vertical that, I mean, another product that Claim Genius also provides, that actually gives the conditioning report, which enables them to basically value that vehicle in a right way. And they can at the same time manage their inventory, that, pricing their parts and all that. So all across these, I would say, passenger vehicles, verticals, our AI is kind of in helping every single vertical in there. So it is basically revolutionizing the entire collision industry and the other verticals.
Wow.
There's so much here, guys. I mean, we're looking at the future of AI and we're just getting started. I remember when Midjourney first came out and it was making these pictures and everybody's like, wow, it's so, it kind of looks like a real, orange or whatever it was trying to draw. Now it's like got shadows and texture and depth, and it's advancing so quickly. Are we going to see things like that from our perspective with the collision industry? I got to imagine we will. What is the advancement of AI going to do to the collision industry, and what can we expect in the near future and maybe even longer?
Come on, guys, predict the future for us.
Come on, crystal ball time. Let's go. If you need to ask AI about it and come back to us, we're okay with that.
Let's see. I got my chat GPT pulled up right now.
Yeah, let's see if they're accurate here.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm fortunate. I've been with Tractable now for 4.5 years, and I left the insurance industry with USAA. I've been able to see the future happening just every single day. It's unbelievable what we have in the pipeline. When I say we, I mean the industry. What we have in the pipeline is and what we now need is a little bit more execution. The way that this gets better is by people using it. And that's one of the secrets to AI. If we really want to see where this thing can really take us, give us more decisions. One of the things that AI does very well is that you're buying a decision. Is the car repairable, yes or no? And how you get there, let the AI figure it out. But there's some magnificent ways that it can take a look at that vehicle. And then what parts may be in jeopardy. You can bang it off of all these certain databases. And what if a car has been total loss and it's sitting over at IEA or Copart and it's been purchased, and now we know where the part can come in route. There's a number of ways that we can really help what's going on in the United States right now to get these cars back on the road sooner. I know that we're still sort of reeling from COVID, but gosh, we have the answers right now. We really just need to execute on them. But what you will see in a nutshell is an unbelievable experience. Your store's not open, but you have a QR code on the side. A customer comes. This is today, not the future. And hit the QR code, take 4 corner pictures of their car, couple close-ups, and they now have an interaction with your store. They can do it through a website. Now you can really get this instant quote and get that initial answer to that person. And like I said, the person that has an accident now, they really don't have the advocate that they used to. Carriers are not doing their jobs the way they used to. And you know, we all know, I doubt if a lot of folks that are on a positivity summit, their staff are probably engaging with the customers a little bit better. But I hear horror stories of going up and then being told to come back 3 weeks later, and then we'll give you an appraisal. But we really need to be able to respond to the customers. And that's the future of AI, customer integration, and this beautiful experience.
Yeah, I agree with Jimmy. I think it's you got to execute, and I know we're short on time, so I'll be quick. But one of the things that I also see in the future that I'm not sure everyone on the in the audience is aware of is sustainability, as I mentioned earlier. So today we're in a place where we're looking at EV vehicles and getting those rolling. There is an area that really is untapped, and it's how much carbon is generated in the collision repair. And this is a way for body shops to differentiate your shop. So what is it that so my team, we've created a way to measure that, ISO certified, all that, but the more important thing is how do you drive down the carbon output in a repair? Well, one is you repair more than you replace. You know, you do more repair versus replace when it's proper to do that. So second is you use more green parts, or we call it in Europe, but here used parts versus the new parts. And third is you're looking at how much space that you need, how much area you need to paint. So what a body shop can do is because body shops are focused on these things already. When you're doing well and you're scoring well in that carbon output, you market yourself as a 5-star eco-friendly shop because you're doing things to really help lower the carbon output in the environment. And then that helps you market to the consumer, that helps you market to the insurance companies. And it also, quite frankly, lowers the cost of repair and usually the cycle time. So anyway, that's one of the things I see coming in the future that could be a big help for the body shops.
Thank you, Bill. I notice when I'm overseas speaking, this subject of carbon output seems to come up a lot more often than here in the States. So maybe it'll start happening here more often too.
Yeah, it is. Europe is the leader. We're seeing it in Canada already. And we will, yes, we'll be a little slower in the U.S., but it's coming, and it's good to get in front of it.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, let me address one question. I think Dino mentioned that, I hope that AI is not going to put them out of the job. So I think it's a very misconception that AI is going to take away the jobs. It is not. The AI, in fact, is actually helping to basically, bring more efficiencies. So just for an example, today, if an estimator is writing, let's see, top of the line, 45 minutes on a virtual desk adjustment to say, he's writing an estimate for 45 minutes, for a medium damage vehicle. With AI, your estimate is going to be written within literally a matter of 2 minutes. right? On the top of it, you do the eyeballing, give or take, you are basically finalizing an estimate within a matter of literally 10 minutes for the argument's sake. You're saving about 35 minutes. Now, you can imagine that how much of throughput that you're increasing out of that person. So I don't think AI is going to basically, take away the jobs. It is basically helping you to even get more business and revenue everywhere that looks for, right? So that's the AI use case.
I hope you're
would
right,
say.
Raj. I like that idea.
And John, bring us home with this, bud. What are you expecting to see from AI in the future?
Yeah, real quick, what we see from the dealership space is upstairs in my garage. I've got a 2022 Honda Accord. Okay, it's got 6 or 7, 8 dents on it that I've found through UVI. Got a crack in my windshield. I'm never gonna call and get those repaired. There's a barrier to entry there. Where we see a real opportunity is when I go to my local Honda dealership and they have a UVI system, we see that there is going to be a whole new opportunity to refer that work. So any dealership that has 15,000 or 1,500 ROs being written a month, there's 1,500 opportunities to generate additional work for a body shop if it's owned by the dealership or if it's a partner dealership. And this is the area we're headed. It's what's keeping me up at night. I just think it's a golden opportunity to be referring more work.
Absolutely, I agree. Awesome opportunity.
Yeah,
What a
lots of
great
opportunity,
panel.
lots of excitement. What a great panel, guys. Thank you so much, Raj. Thanks for getting up in the middle of the night to share with us. Gentlemen,
you.
thank you for your time. I know you're all very, very busy gentlemen. And thank you so much. We're very
Thank you,
honored to
Raj.
have you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
John.
thanks for having all of us.
Thank you, guys.
Woohoo!